Angels passing, getting edgy. They're off, breaking out over 5 furlongs. Away to the left, Angels passing edgy in the stall's noseband, got out a little slower than the others. Princesse d'Orange on the extreme right is showing bright speed. Love A Girl in a violet jacket is stalking her. They're drifting centre to far side. Laura Lynn in the red and white in third, chasing them down towards halfway ahead of Armour Supreme with a red cap. And the Aviadoma in the dark blue is upside Lady Blanche, and then further back to Lake Muritz. Love A Giggle is next. Angels passing on the extreme left, last but one. Margaret's Pearl is at the tail, moving on down towards the last quarter mile. Princesse d'Orange, red jacket in front, stalked by Love A Girl in the violet, moving up to challenge. Armour Supreme against the right hand rail is closing in. Down the centre, Love A Giggle is running on. Love A Girl struck the front inside the furlong. Armour Supreme and Love A Giggle are challenging as Princesse d'Orange drops away. 3 in a line as they head for the last half furlong. Armour Supreme, Love A Giggle down the near side. Armour Supreme and Love A Giggle are fighting this out. Could have gone either way. Will go to the judge with in third place, chasing them in, Love A Girl, and then late on the scene, Angels passing.
Third win in the last 5 years for Spicket Lodge. Team Karl Burke at the helm, well done. Beforehand, she's small, unassuming, but by goodness, she was tough.
Yeah, she is. It's exactly, sums her up perfectly, Niall. She is small, but she's tough. Definitely, obviously, stepped forward from Southwell. I said to Cliff, a lot of speed on here, and at Southwell she was looked a little bit outpaced, and then came home really strong. And I thought there's no point getting involved early here, even if she'd improved for that run. So Cliff pulled it off to perfection, really.
And normally you book your ticket for a Queen Mary after this, where a stiff 5's really going to suit her.
100%, 100%. Why wouldn't we go there? I mean, obviously that's going to be a tougher race yet again, but look, she deserves to take a chance.
Just asking Cliff a couple of things. Thunder Run, the previous race, you don't like getting beat, but what a performance once again under top weight. Yeah,
I was delighted with that because we were disappointed with him at Kempton, and don't think he was really firing, but he'd bounced out of that race fairly well, and didn't come here confident, but came here hopefully he'd run a lot better, and obviously he loves York, and he looked great. He looked in great shape.
Are you thinking about tomorrow, Newbury, Zeus Olympus and the Lockeridge? You must be excited.
I am now. Now we've had a winner this week. You know, we've been sort of hitting posts all week, and a couple of disappointments. But yeah, no, that's. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow.
He's come on from first run.
100%. Yeah. You know, we expected him to. He'll go in there about 5 or 6 kilos lighter, which is a good 12 pound. If you take that off his back, you know, it means a lot. Yeah. And he's fitter. Yeah. We wish you well tomorrow, and very well done. The race you've farmed over the last few years. Well done. Thank you. Cheers.
Love A Giggle has won in the Marygate. Clifford Lee on board. Talk us through that. She's really small before, but really game.
Yeah. She's not the biggest, but she's got heart, and she tries very hard.
How did it seem like they went up quick up top?
Yeah, I seemed to jump with them, but there was a few more that were a lot sharper than what I was, and then I just almost felt like they were just probably doing a little bit too much in front.
But inside the final furlong, when they were stopping, you were really getting it in your lids.
Yeah, that's it. I was picking them up nicely, and I like the way she hit the line quite strong.
Normally book a ticket for a Queen Mary if you win this, and a stiff 5 will really suit her. You know she's going to stay.
Yeah, well, obviously we all want nice horses to go to the big races with, and after today, I presume she'll go that way.
She's happy in that ground?
Yeah, enjoyed everything. She gave me a lovely professional ride, which was great.
On the run, ran a great race in the previous race.
Yeah, ran a fantastic race, especially off of the run he had at Kempton. It's nice to see him show some form.
Zeus Olympus tomorrow in the Lockeridge, you must be really excited.
Yeah, really excited for him. He's been working really well. He's definitely come on for his run first time, and fingers crossed we get a bit of luck.
Yeah, good stuff. Very well done.
Cheers now. Thanks.
Love A Giggle has won for Karl Burke and Clifford Lee. In second, it's Armour Supreme, just caught on the line for Russell Ryan and Diogo Diaz. And third was Love A Girl for David Egan and Kevin Philippart de Foy. The newcomer, Angels Passing, has shaped well in fourth, but the winner is Love A Giggle.
And that takes Karl's record in this race to 3 from the last 5 years. He's won it. Pillow Talk and Got to Love a Grey were successful in 2022 and 23 respectively. First win for a couple of years for him, but she's really dug deep, clearly learnt a lot from Southwell, and she is likely to improve, I think, when she goes up in trip to 6, the way that she's finished out. She's a very honest, likeable, gritty little filly, isn't she? There's not much of her, but she's been thrown into much deeper waters today, and she's coped extremely well.
I like her walk. I mean, I think she uses herself very athletically. I take the point. I mean, she suffered by being next to her stable companion.
Yeah, I mean,
think,
she's
in the
Kodiac as well.
Yeah.
They tend to be on the smaller side.
Yeah. And I just want to see in the closing stage, I wonder whether Arbor Supreme just flashed her tail slightly. We'll have a look at that. So we take it from the start. Not that quickly into stride was Nea Viadoma. She has to be driven in order to move up into a position.
Yeah, she missed it, whereas Princesse d'Orange was, like Beverly, very quick out of the stalls, racing almost a little bit too keenly for her own good, wasn't she? She's got all the pace, but she's just full of enthusiasm. She's run well for a long way, but ultimately gets a little bit tired late on. She's obviously stuck over that far side. Armour Supreme takes a trail in behind Princesse d'Orange. She's run a blinder, and she's literally just missed out, hasn't she? I think she was ahead a few strides before the line. Late on the other side of the course, she didn't have time to respond.
Yeah, they've done a bit too much. I mean, certainly Princesse d'Orange has done a bit too much on the lead. I think Lady Love A Girl has done a bit too much as well in tracking her and making her move. Even Armour Supreme maybe has been a little bit too close to the pace, and the one that's got the perfect setup is Love A Giggle.
Yes, she has, and good run from Angel's Passing.
Very much so.
Fourth, she's the debutant hard left of the screen in the blue colours. For a debutant, she's run really well. She was never going the pace, and she couldn't get on terms with the leaders, but she's certainly run well above average for a debutant.
She has. So Princesse d'Orange is going to have to channel that energy a bit better. I think Lady Blanche has run creditably, and you can mark it up slightly. But yeah, this filly is very, very likeable. But I also think that Armour Supreme has emerged with plenty of credit. I do think she flashed her tail near the line.
Yes.
She was under quite some hard pressure. I think she was just saying, "I'm trying my best."
Yeah, it was a hell of a run though, wasn't it, from her? Well, she's well clear of the third. As you say, she was that little bit closer to the pace, tracking the hot pace through compared to the winner. And she's been beaten by a filly that cost, well, more than 30 times as much as she did.
Yeah,
she was
which puts it into some context.
She was €4,000 as a yearling, and Love A Giggle was picked up for 130 grand.
What would you do with each of them? I mean, they're going to be heading towards Royal Ascot, surely, probably the first three, first four, maybe.
I think when you win this race, you're naturally drawn towards probably the Queen Mary, aren't you? But I think if they did want to go another furlong, it probably wouldn't be beyond her. You can consider the Windsor Castle as well, can they?
It depends on what's her sire, Kodiac.
Anyway, look, I think they'll probably go down the Queen Mary route.
Yeah.
Probably.
He's just checking.
It is such a quick track, this, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, even though she's got on top late on, on both occasions she's won, they've been on very fast 5 furlong tracks. Southwell and York, it takes a fast horse to win here, and I think that would probably be at the front of their thoughts, but a little bit depend on what other horses and fillies Karl has got to go to. He'll shuffle his pack accordingly, I think.
Not qualified for the new version of the Windsor Castle.
Okay.
So it will be the Queen Mary, or if they're going to be sticking to 5 furlongs. The Windsor Castle, of course, now 6 as well, rather than 5. And having that sire qualification element to it. So the winner of the Marygate just narrowly is Love A Giggle, who's learned plenty from her debut at Southwell. Won it for the 3rd time in the past 5 years for Karl Burke, with Clifford Lee on board.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.